Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Hmm.
This time you guys sent in some seriously interesting articles about starting businesses online. And I have to say, some of these stats I found were mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you know that global retail e-commerce sales are expected to hit over $6 trillion by 2024?
Wow.
That is a lot of online shopping,
Yeah, it's pretty clear that something huge is happening here.
for sure. And we need someone who, really knows this world inside and out to help us understand what's going on. So I'm excited to have our expert here to help us unpack all of this.
Well, that $6 trillion figure really does show how the internet is changing the way we do business, right?
Hmm.
And it's not just about selling things online anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's about, like rethinking how businesses work and how to reach customers in ways we couldn't have even imagined a few years ago.
Absolutely. And one thing that really stood out to me in these articles is how much lower the startup costs are for online businesses compared to like traditional brick and mortar businesses.
Yeah.
One article even used the example of starting a blog.
Yeah.
And they said all you really need is a domain name, which costs less than $20 per year,
Wow.
and a hosting plan, which can be as low as $5 a month.
That's wild.
I know, especially when you think about how much it costs to just rent a retail space,
Yeah.
and then you have all the other costs on top of that.
Yeah, that's a huge reason why we see so many online businesses popping up.
Right.
The barrier to entry is so much lower.
Makes sense.
It makes entrepreneurship accessible to so many more people. You don't need a ton of money to get started.
Uh-huh.
So, it kind of levels the playing field a bit and allows more people to chase their entrepreneurial dreams.
Totally. It's like almost anyone with a laptop and an internet connection could potentially become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the initial cost, right?
No.
The articles also talk about how online businesses generally just have lower overhead costs in general.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't have the expenses of a physical store.
Right. Things like rent, utilities, a big staff.
Yeah.
You free up so many resources.
Right.
This lower overhead lets online businesses be a lot more agile, a lot more competitive.
I'll see.
They can adapt faster to changes in the market,
Okay.
test different product ideas without, losing a ton of money,
Right.
and scale up their operations a lot quicker than traditional businesses.
So lower startup costs, lower overhead.
Yep.
This is starting to sound pretty good.
Right.
And there's this whole idea of drop shipping, which one of the articles talked about.
Oh, yeah.
They described it as a way to basically eliminate the risk of having unsold inventory just sitting around. It almost sounds too good to be true.
Well, drop shipping is a really interesting model.
Yeah.
So you're basically selling products without actually keeping any stock yourself.
Mm.
So a customer orders something from you.
Mm-hmm.
You send the order to a supplier, and they ship the product directly to the customer.
So you avoid a lot of the usual problems of managing stock and dealing with shipping.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like having this virtual warehouse.
Exactly.
But, surely there have to be some downsides to running an online business, right?
Yeah.
The articles definitely didn't shy away from the challenges.
Oh, of course there are challenges.
Yeah.
One of the biggest is the competition.
Yeah.
It's fierce in the online marketplace.
It's global, too, right?
Exactly.
You're not just competing with businesses in your local area.
Right. You're competing with companies all over the world,
Wow!
fighting for the attention of the same customers.
It can feel really intense. How can a new business even, stand out in such a crowded space?
That's where finding a way to be different becomes so important.
Hmm.
It's not enough to just have a website or an online store.
You need to stand out.
Yeah, you got to find a way to stand out from the crowd.
Right.
Offer something unique, something
Yeah.
that sets you apart from the competition. It could be a specialized product for a specific need,
Okay.
or maybe you offer amazing customer service that goes above and beyond,
Right.
or even a really strong brand story that people connect with.
So finding your niche.
Exactly.
One of the articles actually had this example of a company that used drop shipping to build a successful online business.
Oh, cool.
They found this niche market for eco-friendly pet products.
Hmm.
And they built their whole brand around sustainability and, ethical sourcing. So focusing on those specific values helped them stand out in a crowded market.
Yeah, that's a great example of how focusing on a specific niche and aligning your business with strong values can really make you stand out.
It makes you different.
Yeah, it's not just about selling a product.
Yeah.
It's about connecting with customers on a deeper level,
Right.
offering them something they care about.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a great example of how having a really clearly defined niche can help you stand out.
Yeah.
But of course, that's just the first step,
Yeah.
right? The articles you shared also talked a lot about how important it is to build a strong online presence.
Yes. And this idea of a minimal viable product kept coming up.
Mm.
And to be honest, I wasn't totally sure what that meant at first. Sounds kind of like, like a secret business term or something.
Well, it's actually a pretty simple idea.
Okay.
A minimal viable product, or MVP, is basically a stripped-down version of your product or service.
Mm.
And it's designed to be launched really quickly and without spending a lot of money.
Okay.
The goal is to, get something out there in the market as soon as possible.
I see.
So you can start getting feedback from actual customers and see if your ideas are actually working.
So instead of spending, months or even years trying to perfect a product,
Yeah.
you launch a more basic version and let the market tell you what works and what doesn't.
Exactly.
That sounds so much more efficient.
It is.
And, way less risky.
It's a much more flexible approach to product development.
Right.
You're constantly getting feedback and making improvements based on what you're learning.
Okay.
And that leads to a better product in the end, and, you get to market faster.
One article even mentioned a food delivery startup.
Okay.
And they launched with this really basic website and a limited menu. But they really focused on getting the core features right.
Uh-huh.
And building a loyal customer base before expanding their offerings.
Yeah, that's smart.
It seemed like a good way to avoid making things too complicated, especially when you're just starting out.
Definitely. Starting small lets you test your ideas. You can learn from any mistakes you make.
Right.
And change direction quickly if you need to without risking a ton of money.
Speaking of reaching customers, we can't forget about social media. It feels like every business needs to be on every platform these days.
It does, doesn't it?
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, the list goes on.
It's a lot.
It can be really overwhelming.
Social media is definitely a powerful tool for reaching potential customers, but it's not some magic solution.
Right.
It's important to be smart about how you use it.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to be everywhere at once,
Yeah.
focus on the platforms where your target audience actually spends their time.
I see.
And engage with them in a way that feels authentic and valuable.
So actually providing value.
Yeah.
One article talked about using social media to build a community around your brand.
Mm.
It's not just about blasting out marketing messages all the time.
Right.
It's about creating a space where people can actually connect.
Yeah.
Share ideas,
Mm.
and feel like they're part of something bigger than just a brand.
That's really important.
Yeah.
People are much more likely to buy from brands they trust and feel a connection to.
Okay.
And building a strong community on social media can really help create that loyalty.
Yeah.
You can turn casual followers into people who are really passionate about your brand.
Building a community online sounds great in theory. But how can businesses actually create that sense of connection in a digital space?
It really comes down to creating content that resonates with your audience.
Right.
And engaging with them in a way that feels genuine and meaningful.
So really talking to them.
Yeah. Responding to comments, asking questions, sharing behind-the-scenes stuff about your business.
I see.
These are all ways to, humanize your brand and build real relationships with your followers.
One of the articles mentioned a clothing company that used Instagram in a really interesting way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they showcased not just their products, but the stories of the people who made them.
Mm.
So they highlighted the artisans and the craftsmanship behind their clothing.
Interesting.
And that created a deeper connection with customers who really cared about, ethical production and the values of the brand.
Yeah, that's a fantastic example of how to use storytelling to build a brand that people connect with.
Right.
It's emotional.
And while you're building those connections on social media, you can't forget about the actual experience people have on your website or online store.
No, definitely not.
One article really emphasized, having seamless navigation, clear product descriptions, a smooth checkout process.
Yeah, all those things are essential for a good customer experience.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond just the technical stuff,
Right.
Customers also want excellent customer service.
Okay.
They want clear communication.
Right.
And they want shipping to be fast and reliable.
That's true. Meeting those expectations is so important online, especially with so much competition.
And these days, it's not even enough to just meet expectations. You got to exceed them.
Wow.
In the online world, it's so easy for customers to switch to a competitor if they have even one bad experience.
That's true.
Going the extra mile to make your customers feel valued and appreciated, that can make all the difference.
So like the old saying, underpromise and overdeliver.
Exactly. But in the online world, the stakes are even higher.
Yeah, because word of mouth spreads so quickly through online reviews and social media.
Exactly.
One bad review can go viral.
It can.
And damage your brand overnight.
Yeah, it's more important than ever to prioritize the customer experience and build a reputation for being excellent.
Okay, so we've talked about finding your niche, starting with a minimal viable product, building a community on social media, creating a great customer experience. What else is like absolutely crucial for success online?
One thing that's absolutely essential, and this came up in a lot of the articles you sent, is the need to keep learning.
Always be learning.
Yes. The online world is constantly changing. And if you're not staying up to date with the latest trends and technologies, you're going to fall behind.
So it's not enough to just build a website and wait for the money to roll in.
Definitely not.
Okay.
You need to be constantly learning and adapting.
Yay.
This means staying up to date on all the latest e-commerce trends, digital marketing strategies, SEO techniques.
SEO?
And any new technologies that could help your business.
One article suggested setting aside time each week specifically to like read industry blogs, listen to podcasts, maybe even take some online courses. Just to keep your skills sharp.
That's a great idea. And the best part is there are so many amazing resources online.
That's true.
A lot of them are free or really affordable.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for not staying informed and continuing to learn.
It's like having this huge digital library of knowledge right there at your fingertips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And by using those resources, you can not only keep up with the latest trends, but also connect with other entrepreneurs. You know, learn from their experiences and find inspiration for your own journey.
I like that. So to kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive, we've gone pretty deep into what it takes to build a successful online business. We have.
We've talked about finding your niche, starting small with a minimal viable product, building a community on social media, creating a stellar customer experience, and embracing this idea of continuous learning.
A lot to think about.
It is.
But hopefully he's given you some, practical insights and some things you can actually start doing yourself.
Right.
And remember, there's no one right way to be successful online.
That's a good point.
It's about finding what works for you.
Right.
Experimenting.
Right.
And being willing to adapt along the way.
So in part 3 of our deep dive, we're going to tackle the big question that's probably on everyone's mind.
Okay.
How do you actually make money from an online business?
The big question.
Yeah.
We'll explore different strategies for making money, from e-commerce to digital products, affiliate marketing, and more.
Stay tuned for more insights, tips, and real-world examples that can help you,
Turn your online passion into a profitable venture. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into the world of online businesses.
Yeah.
We've talked about so much already, like the excitement of those super low startup costs.
Right.
And we've talked about how important it is to, stand out in that competitive online world.
Yeah.
And how you always have to be adapting and learning new things.
Absolutely.
But let's get to what's probably on everyone's mind, right?
Yeah.
How do you actually make money from all of this?
Yeah.
How do you turn your online presence into a profitable business?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it's even the $6 trillion question.
Oh.
Given how much e-commerce is projected to grow.
That's true.
But the good news is there are tons of ways to monetize your online business.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
One of the articles you looked at really focused on e-commerce as like the main path to making money online.
Okay.
Which makes sense. You set up an online store, you put some cool products up there, and start making sales.
It's a classic model.
It is.
And for good reason.
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward way to sell physical products directly to your customers.
Right.
But even within e-commerce, there are so many different ways to approach it.
Like what?
Well, you could create your own unique products to sell. Or you could source products wholesale, and resell them online.
Okay.
Or you could even use that drop shipping model we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
That can really minimize your upfront investment.
Right. Dropshipping seems like a really great option for someone who's just starting out with e-commerce.
It is.
It takes away a lot of the stress of dealing with inventory and all those shipping logistics.
Exactly. Drop shipping can be a really good way to test the waters.
Okay.
You can see if e-commerce is right for you without taking on a ton of risk.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
But e-commerce isn't the only way to make money online, right?
definitely not.
The articles you shared also talked about the potential of digital products.
Yeah, digital products are huge.
And those are things like online courses, right?
Yeah, like online courses, ebooks, templates, design assets, software. The list goes on and on.
It really does. And what I think is really cool about that model is you create the product once,
Yeah.
and then you can sell it over and over again.
Right?
You don't have to worry about manufacturing or keeping physical inventory.
That's one of the best things about digital products.
Yeah.
They're incredibly scalable, and they really tap into this growing trend of online learning and remote work.
That's true.
People are always looking for new knowledge and skills that they can access from anywhere.
Right.
And digital products offer a convenient and affordable way to get that.
It's like you're taking your expertise or your creativity and you're packaging it into a product that people all over the world can access.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Now, another strategy that came up in our reading was affiliate marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And this one seemed particularly interesting if you already have like an established online presence.
It is. Affiliate marketing is a fantastic way to use your audience or your platform to make money.
Okay.
Basically, you partner with other businesses and promote their products or services to your followers. And you get a commission for every sale that comes from your recommendation.
So it's kind of like being an influencer,
Yeah,
but you're focused on actually driving sales.
exactly. It's not just about building a following. It's
Yeah.
about getting people to buy.
Okay.
And it's a win-win for both sides.
Oh, so.
Well, the business gets access to a new audience and they make more sales. And you earn a commission for helping make those sales happen.
That makes sense. It seems like a great way to, diversify your income
Yeah,
without having to create your own products or manage inventory.
for sure.
And speaking of diversifying income, the articles also talked about the potential of blogging as a business model.
Oh, yeah.
That was interesting.
Blogging can be a really powerful way to build an audience. You can establish yourself as an authority in a specific niche,
Okay.
and ultimately, you can make money from it.
And how do you do that?
Well, there are a few different ways to monetize a blog.
Like what?
You could do display advertising. You could do sponsored content. You could do affiliate marketing, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
You could even sell your own products or services related to your blog's topic.
I like that. What I find appealing about blogging is it allows you to, share your passions.
Yeah.
Right? Connect with people who are into the same things you are
Uh-huh.
and build a business around those passions. It's like turning your hobby into a career,
It is.
which is awesome.
But of course, it takes a lot of time and effort.
Right.
You have to create high quality content. You
Yeah.
have to promote your blog. You have to build a loyal readership.
Makes sense. One final model that caught my eye was the idea of membership websites.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like a lot of creators and businesses are using those to create a steady income and build deeper relationships with their audience.
Yeah, membership sites are a great way to offer exclusive content or, access to a community
Okay.
or other premium perks to your most dedicated followers. It's like creating a VIP experience for the people who really value what you offer.
So it's about providing real value,
Yeah,
but you get paid a recurring subscription fee.
that's right.
It seems like that would be more sustainable than just relying on one-time purchases or advertising.
It can be.
Right.
Membership sites can provide a more stable and predictable income. And they can also foster deeper engagement with your audience.
Because they feel like they're part of a community.
Yeah, exactly. You're creating this sense of belonging among your members.
Right.
And that can be really powerful.
I bet. Wow. We've covered a lot today, exploring all these different ways to make money from online businesses, from e-commerce to digital products, affiliate marketing, blogging, membership sites.
Yeah, we have.
It's really inspiring to see how many different paths there are to success in the online world.
There really are a lot of options.
Right.
And I think the key takeaway is that there's no one right answer.
Right. There's no magic formula.
The best way to make money from your online business depends on you.
Yeah.
It depends on your strengths, your audience, and your goals.
That makes sense. So as we wrap up this whole deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
Imagine you're starting an online business tomorrow.
Hmm.
What would it be?
Good question.
Yeah. What problem would you solve? What value would you offer to the world?
Let those questions guide you.
Yeah.
The online world is vast. It's full of opportunities. Embrace those possibilities and remember that even the most successful businesses started with an idea and
Yeah.
someone who was willing to take that first step.
Thanks for joining us on this journey.
It's been fun.
I hope you've learned some valuable things, and I hope you're feeling inspired to start your own online adventures.
Yeah.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.